Jason was well liked in high school, and for a long time I spent a lot of time with Jason. He was a lot of fun to be around. He was one of those people that could always, make fun out of a situation. I mean, I can remember one of the first times I realized that Jason was probably going to get me in trouble. We were at Walmart, which is a good place to get in trouble, by the way, if you're looking for trouble. We were in Walmart, and Jason gets a fishing pole off the shelf out of the fishing section. One of them that's got those little, those little kid ones got the little weights that come with them. You tie on the end, like practice casting. So Jason's got this fishing pole and he's walking around. So he walks down an aisle and he'll look thing and just cast it over the aisles. And then he'll wait and listen for it to hit. And then hear people, and then he'll just kind of start reeling it in, knocking stuff off the shelves. And he'd do it again, right? I got out of there before they asked him not to come back. One night they went during the day and they test drove a vehicle and they had a key made. And they went back at midnight and stole the car and was joyriding and got caught. He tried to run away. Anyway, he's been in jail for DUI. He's lost his license. He probably don't have a license right now. He was that kind of guy. I quit hanging out with Jason because I knew that if I stayed with him, there was nothing going to work out for me. I was going to find myself in handcuffs. I was going to be in trouble because to hang out with him was the equivalent to hanging out with the devil himself. And I knew that if I stayed in that kind of environment, in those places, in those situations with those people, I knew that it was going to destroy me because it was like that bad stuff just came to find me. You ever known anybody like that? You ever find yourself in places like that, in those situations where you knew before you even went, you knew before anything even happened, you knew that something was not going to work out in your favor? Environments that are so toxic, you just can't escape sin. You see, the reason these two angels came to Sodom and Gomorrah to save Lot was because they knew the only way to rescue him from that was to get him out of all that mess. They were going to blow up this city, basically burn this city down, destroy it, and they were going to save him. And they told him, if you want to survive this, if you want to get out of this mess, you have got to leave. God's message for you this morning, if you find yourself in that kind of environment and you know exactly what I'm talking about, you're thinking right now, there ain't nothing in my life that ever goes right. It all goes wrong. Everything's bad stuff happens. If somebody gets in trouble, it's me. If something's going to go wrong, it will go wrong. God wants to rescue you from that. But His message to you is that you have got to turn your back and leave that environment. You got to get out. You got to get away. And now that means something different for probably everybody in here sitting this morning. I don't know what all that means, but I think you know what it means. Because sometimes we have a choice. Sometimes we have difficult choices. But if you stay in those kind of environments with those kind of people, in those toxic situations, the only thing that's going to happen is sin is going to come looking for you and it's going to find you. And you will not be able to escape it. I don't matter what you do or where you go unless you turn and leave that stuff behind. You realize that when you're in a bad place in your life that God sends a warning? It's like firing a warning shot almost, right? And I hate to even say that about God because I don't want you to get the idea that He's about to hit you in the head with a bat or something, but it's like God sounds this alarm. And you know it's for you. It's like the fire alarm at school. It's time to get out. And you know it's time to do something different. It's time to make a different move, to be in a different place, to be a different person. And God rings this bell and you know you have to get out. You know you have to make a different decision and go to a different place. Surround yourself with different people. And at that point you can either run away and God will save you, or you can stay and burn down with all the sin and destruction and everything else that happens in that place. It's so crazy to me that God sends these warnings and some people ignore them. They can know what they're supposed to do. And they just stay in the same place, doing the same things over and over again. And they act surprised when something bad happens.